This is EB3, Speaking the Truth in Love, and I just come on for a few minutes to give you guys a word of encouragement. If you like this video and want more content like it, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share. The end of June and so far the month of July has been a very busy month. A lot of things have happened. You know, guys, I normally don't talk about what's happening like in real time. I normally just talk around it. But I did kind of open up the conversation a little bit, talking about we need to vote, right? President Joe Biden, he dropped out of the contest. I think we got to be very, very careful right now and pay attention and not get distracted, because not only is that going on, but we still got to understand the agenda, the 2025 agenda. We got to understand everything that's at stake. So much is up for grabs. A lot of our freedoms, a lot of our, basically a lot of our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of just being able to raise your children the way you want to, freedom of being able to just move and have your being. A lot of things are up for grabs. And this election is very, very important. So with that being said, I want to talk about the fact that President Joe Biden dropping out the race. I really believe that America is ready for a woman president. Now, again, like I said a few minutes ago, President Joe Biden, when he announced the dropping out of the race on Sunday, that was July the 21st. Yes, so Sunday, July the 21st, he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris. There's been several prominent Democrats that have jumped on board. A lot of people around the world is saying that it's a good thing. Of course, there's always the opposition. But I want to say this. Is America really ready for a female president? We've never had one before. And the last time we had an election where there was a woman, which was Senator Hillary Clinton, former First Lady Hillary Clinton, whichever one you want to focus on, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, whichever one you want to focus on. The fact of the matter, she was a woman. She happened to be a Caucasian or white, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, she was a woman. And from my observation, a lot of women pretended like they were on board and they were going to support her and they were going to be behind her, because we want to elect a woman president. You remember that? Y'all remember that? How everybody was so excited. Everybody was gearing up to elect a woman president. And the country just wasn't ready for a woman president. No matter how much they said all the way up into election that, you know, she had a great chance. And she did get a lot of votes. Now, we have to go back and say that she did get a lot of the popular votes, but she did not get the votes that counted, where she can get the electoral votes. And when the footage was shown, I don't know if y'all paid any attention, but when the footage was shown, these, I'm going to say white women, Caucasian women, they, at first they act like they were on her side. But when the footage was shown after the election and the days after the election, the weeks after the election, when former President Trump was elected, those women had like these smirks on their face. Like, yeah, you thought we was really going to be for you, you know? So I brought all that up to say, so this woman, highly educated, talking about Senator Clinton, highly educated woman, right? Supported her husband the 8 years, went through a lot of different things, but never got out of order. Always did the right things, as far as you would say, as far as the political arena would say. I mean, she did get a little backlash for sticking with her husband, but I never saw anything wrong with that. I think those matters are personal. In every marriage, you have difficulties. I was married 28 years before my husband passed away. So in every marriage, you have difficulties. Some might be finances, some might be infidelity, some might be that you just clash personality-wise. Maybe you have difference in beliefs. I know they had a difference in certain beliefs because one of them was a Democrat and one was Republican. Y'all forgot that she really was, even though she ended up running as a Democrat and her husband was a Democrat. But, you know, back in the day, when she was First Lady of Arkansas, she was a Republican. She was a Republican all the way up until her husband was voted as the president of the United States. So I never forgot that. I didn't hold it against her because I know everybody has their own views on things. But the thing is, I said all that to say she was no dummy. She was a highly educated woman, independent thinker, and she was an advocate. I remember she was an advocate for healthcare reform. You know, she had a real platform when she was the First Lady. And she did First Lady well. I think so, in my opinion. Okay, so I said all that to say, everything that they could find to throw salt on wounds or whatever, to discredit her morality, discredit her strength, discredit her intelligence. They did everything they could. I think I said integrity. Everything they could to discredit her. And of course, little by little, the women turned against her because, you know, she was a feminist. And let me get this straight. I am not a feminist. So y'all probably wouldn't like me either because I'm not no feminist in the sense of what feminist is today. Okay, but I'll come back to that. I'll do that video another time. So now here we are, 2024, getting ready for the 2024 election, getting ready for the DNC in August. The DNC in August, Democratic National Convention, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. So my question to you all is, do you think that America is ready for a woman of color to be the president when 8 years ago they weren't ready for a woman, a Caucasian woman, to be president? And I don't know if it was because she was Bill Clinton's wife or, you know, of course they said it was because of the emails and all that old stuff. But, you know, that's just here nor there. Whatever their reasons were, they weren't ready. And I just don't believe that they're really ready now. Now, I don't even know for sure. I don't even think that they are going to give her the nominee. Now, I do know that there's I think her name is Mary Ann Williamson, who's challenged her so far. But that's another woman. I'm sure there's going to be others come out to challenge her. Unless they decide we really need to unify as a party and get behind Vice President Kamala Harris and do everything we can to get her voted in, because you don't really have a whole lot of time to go through all these different debates and what it takes to actually get the nominee, right? Unless they have already made up their minds, because there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes that we don't know until years later. What do y'all think? I don't really have a problem with her. I want to hear her talk a little bit more because number one, she's been a politician for years. She's been in law enforcement, however you want to put it, because she was a district of attorney. So she's a lawyer. She knows all about law. She knows about a very intelligent woman. And now she's had 4 years to be the vice president. So she's seen up front, the ins and the outs of it, which, when you put her and the last lady that ran for president, their credentials was pretty up there. The only difference is the first one, Hillary Clinton, of course, she was first lady of Arkansas and then the first lady of the United States. So she had a little bit longer run. But I'm just saying, I just don't think the Democratic Party is going to nominate her. What y'all think? Do y'all think they're going to do it? I think they're going to push that narrative out there. And at the DNC, they're going to bring somebody else. And I don't think it's going to be this Mary Ann Williamson either, because, again, she's a woman. America is not wanting to have a woman president. You don't have enough people that want to follow a woman. Now, if it's a woman that they feel like they can mold in their own image, control and do the narrative. But I know she don't necessarily check that box as black. But at the end of the day, even though she's part Indian and part Jamaican, and I'm gonna come back to that. Even though she's part Indian and part Jamaican, when people look at her, they don't look at Indian. They don't. They don't look at the part of her mother being from India. They look at that African blood. Even though the African blood is from Jamaica, it's still African blood, and that's what they look at. So in the public eye, whether she sees it or not, they see her not just as a woman of color, they see her as a black woman. And so that is a difference. And this is not me doing the race card or nothing like that, because that's not my personality. However, I face reality. These people in the United States of America, most people, number one, do not want to follow the leadership of a woman. Listen, I'll just bring that in perspective, just on like a regular job. For those of you who work outside the home or have worked outside at home on any given job or whatever, think about how men treat the women on these jobs when they're in leadership. How they try to undermine them a lot. A lot of times men try to undermine you. And the narrative that they have out there, people keep saying that she slept her way into politics and stuff like that. Listen, that's what they do to women. When you work in corporate America, when you start going up in the ladder, when you're climbing the ladder, that's the first thing that they want to say about you, regardless of whether you're a black woman, a white woman, or anything in between, Hispanic, Asian, whatever your ethnicity is. Most times, it don't have to be true, but most times they want to say that that's how you moved up. It doesn't matter about your education. It doesn't matter that you had, 5 years experience before you got your first promotion. And then the next time you got another promotion, maybe you had an extra 2 to 5 years, difference in between it. And you went back and you got another degree, and you kept going to all the trainings that they offered you. It don't matter how hard you work. Everything you do is seen by your gender or your color in America, whether we want to believe it or not. So I find it hard to believe that she's even going to, I got to believe it to see it, that she's going to even get the nomination. Because they've done this before. They've done it before. But I just don't believe that she's going to get the nomination because they don't really believe that she can win. I mean, you could tell they're saying, a group of them saying that they're all for, but I don't know. I think I'll believe it when I see it in August. I would definitely, if I don't get a chance to watch it, I would definitely record it so I can come back and talk about this again, about whether she get the nomination. And because I'm not a cynical person, but I see things as they are. People have to be open-minded, and they have to go, just like they say she smiled too much. See, when you are a black woman, and I have to separate black women because each group of women have their own struggles. And I'm not diminishing that, but I am black. When you are a black woman, if you express how somebody is treating you wrong, then you're being an angry black woman, right? You're in that box. If you are a little bit too friendly, now this goes for any woman. If you're a little bit too friendly, then you must have slept your way through something. Like if you smile all the time, if they even think that you're flirting. It don't take much. But that's the kind of labels they put on you. It's like you can't win when you're a black woman and you're trying to go in any form of leadership. You got to be careful. And you got to understand that people just don't have an open mind about it. I don't think they do. I mean, look at all, I see on Facebook, I see on YouTube and Instagram, there are like a lot of women and even a lot of men, I'll say, that say that they're standing with her. As a matter of fact, she has raised, in just a few days, raised quite a bit of funding very quickly. So I believe she does have a lot of supporters, like in the popular. However, at the DNC or the Democratic National Convention, we will see really who has a real open mind, who is really for Vice President Kamala Harris being the nominee, the Democratic nominee for this particular race, 2024. Anyway, drop in the comments what you think. What do you think about this turn of events where the president dropped out and then he decided to put his backing behind her? Drop in the comments what you think, your thoughts about Kamala Harris. Now, I will ask y'all to be nice. Don't use some of that stuff I done seen on other people's platform. Be a little nice. Be a little, I say, compassionate, because she does have a family and she is a woman at the end of the day. So you can be critical, but some of that other stuff, let that go. Like in her personal life, we're not even talking about her personal life right now, because her personal life compared to the opponent's personal life, they don't even compare. So, but if it's anything in her public life or her professional life, then yeah. But who she slept with and how she got there and all that, let's leave that on somebody else's platform. That's not for me over here. But other than that, tell me what you think. Tell me, do you think that the DNC is going to nominate her, or is this all just a smokescreen? for who they really want. And we will see pretty soon. Because what's today? This has been EB3 Speaking the Truth in Love. If you like this video and want more content like it, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share. Be blessed, be a blessing, and pay attention. I am out.